Well, good morning. It's a brand new week and the penultimate day to the month of October. It's a little surprised that we are as excited as you guys are. Hey, as we're winding up the month on a high note now, aren't we?
Yes, indeed. Now, it may have been a struggle getting through October, but we stand tall, we stand strong, we stand along with the rest of you, and we say, good morning, Nigeria. The road might have been a little tough, but as always, we have that special key to help you have that great day, no matter what.
Absolutely. Thank you for joining us. Hey, thank God it's Monday. Let's start by saying that. And you have come to the right place for a good time. The secret is in going it together. That's what they say, yeah? And that's why we actually are here, because we know that you guys are there. Are you not entertained?
It's a bit deeper. It's deeper than... one more time.
No, let's just let it go.
Well, hey, even if you're not entertained yet, there is a lot of entertainment coming your way. Absolutely. Mondays might seem to be that one day we never really look forward to, but with these smiles, we greet you every morning. Hey, it's going to be a smooth ride.
Yes. Who's to say that it's not going to be a good one? Definitely is. We've got the motivation to keep you guys going, and also we must let you guys know that, hey, you are in the right place. You also inspire us to do what we do, and that's why we keep doing it. So thank you very much. Back at you.
This is Wake Up Nigeria. My name is Titilayo Onyinson.
And of course, my name is Mazina Peel. How was your weekend, by the way?
Yeah, so, the weekend was interesting. You know, there was a lot of traffic involved, but yeah, a very interesting weekend. We'll talk about it on the couch a bit later.
Yes, indeed. We have to talk about it because it was hot and then it was hot. In any case, don't forget to use the hashtag throughout the entire show. Wake Up Nigeria on TVC is the hashtag to use across all our social media platforms.
Hopefully, in case you need to move around, you have our mobile app. If you don't, head over to the Google Play Store or iOS Store and download it. It's free and will be in the palm of your hands with no stress.
Yes, indeed. If you're watching us, you're probably doing that on Channel 16 on GOTV. Thank you very much. And of course, UHF 49 is another option. StarTimes 1-to-1 is where to go if you're on that one. Thank you very much. This is a grand Monday and we're raring to go.
Positivity, that's the order of the day.
Absolutely.
Joy is also the order of the day, especially for those of you who are celebrating this month. But let's see what we can do to motivate you. We will be having the motivation segment come your way in a very, very short while. And we've been having a really interesting month with motivation so far. Let's see who is coming up first.
So, coming up on the show today, a look at the weekend's football activities. Oh, rather, before that, we are going to be joined by Gabriel Balogun. He is a brand identity coach. He has a passion for actually making strategy and making your businesses flourish in these times and days. And today he motivates business entrepreneurs in Nigeria on how they can get their business to cut through the noise of social media and be seen. For a musical performance, Don Official, aka Daniel Osareme, he takes center stage today to give us a performance that will be remembered all week. Hailing from Edo State, he describes his music as Afrofusion, which blends the R&B, hip-hop, and also dance genres all together for an energetic expression.
And for SME, we'll be talking to Deborah Aderemi, CEO of Glossy D Events and Services. Now, they've been helping clients organize memorable events and promotions for quite a while. We'll be getting to learn how to run a successful event planning business with her today.
And you're welcome. Monday mornings are always grand because I'm always in the midst of grand, fantastic, beautiful women. Mary, you're welcome. Good to have you here.
Great to be here. Great to be here.
How was your weekend? Oh, I know. Of course, during the weekend, I was on radio. Join me 102.5 on Saturday.
No, it's not 102.3. It's actually 102.3.
102.3,
please
rather.
get your facts right.
She's going to do this
so
thing
please
again.
listen to me every Saturday morning, 10 a.m. till noon, and every Sunday evening, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. on 102.3 Max FM.
Have you got that out of your system? Can we hear about your weekend then?
Yeah, so Mary has plugged her own, so I'm on YouTube.
Oh, jeez. We have no time.
Just Google me. But I have, we had quite an interesting weekend. We had our TVC sort of
team bonding. You could call it. That's what it was.
Sort of like a retreat.
Yeah.
We all went to the amazing Jara Beach. And when it comes to hanging out, we
Yeah,
don't
it
get
was
enough time to do that.
It was a grand time to hang out with people who you work with. You get to know them even better. However, the weekend also took a toll on me. Or the traffic over the weekend. Ooh,
Says the biker that got home 10 hours before others.
yeah, I know, but still, it was quite exhausting using a bike. Holding up your sister, it was.
What's your problem?
It was quite, But tell you guys what. Welcome for a Monday. We're glad that you're here. We're also glad to be here as well. You make us do this, so thank you very much for being our muse.
Time for the news update on Wake Up Nigeria. Hi, I'm Mary Bashua Alimi. Now, the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Abbas Tajuddin, has challenged the National Defense College to think outside the box and come up with ideas to address the emerging security challenges. National Assembly correspondent Joke Adisa reports.
Security agents have become soft targets of hardened criminals who hold the nation to ransom. Hundreds of lives and an unquantifiable amount of property have been lost to insecurity, while thousands of citizens are now displaced. This visit by the management team of the nation's Defense College is to harness areas of collaboration towards finding lasting solutions to insecurity. Olumuyiwa Olotu, who was recently appointed to head the college, seeks Parliament's support towards the speedy passage of the bill, seeking to ratify the name change of the college. He says the college has graduated a total of 2,758 participants, out of which the Nigerian Army had 1,051. Speaker Abbas Tajuddin laments Nigeria is at its lowest ebb, security-wise, and relies on research institutions such as the National Defense College to rise to the occasion.
I want to challenge you as a new commandant to please put your thinking cap, think outside the box, come up with advices for the executive and as well we in the parliament on what we need to do to actually bring to an end this incessant insecurity that is plentiful in this country.
He says the House was conversant with the challenges facing the college with a promise to do what is needful.
A research-based institution, please, we want you to put it as part of your study. What could be the impact of a cashless society vis-a-vis insecurity? Are they linearly related? Can one complement the other or not?
The National Defense College says it is organizing a stakeholders roundtable to look at issues surrounding the forthcoming off-season governorship elections in Kogi, Bayelsa and Imo states with a view to achieving peaceful conduct. Joke Adisa, TVC News, Abuja.
Now, following the Supreme Court's judgment upholding the victory of President Bola Tinubu, Professor Zainab Abiola has asked the warring parties to sheath their swords, let peace reign, and put all hands on deck to move the nation forward. She said this during the Pioneers press conference at Abuja. The erudite scholar appealed to all and sundry, especially the international community, to support President Tinubu since all the democratic tenets of elections have been strictly adhered to. She noted that President Tinubu overcame many obstacles, likening him to the Greek Jason and the Argonauts. To foreign news now, doctors and the Palestinian Red Crescent in Gaza say Israel has told them to evacuate a key hospital in Gaza City. There are 400 patients being treated inside Al-Quds hospital, and moving them is impossible. The organization says around 14,000 civilians are also understood to be sheltering in the hospital and its grounds. Overnight, thousands in Gaza broke into aid depot, taking flour and other basic supplies. The UN Relief Agency for Palestinian Refugees says phone lines and internet connections are slowly returning after more than a day of almost total communication blackout in Gaza. The Israel Defense Forces say more troops entered the territory overnight, while warplanes attacked more than 450 Hamas targets. Israel has been bombing Gaza since the October 7 Hamas attacks that killed 1,400 people and saw 230 people kidnapped as hostages. And that's it on the news update for this hour on Wake Up Nigeria. Listen, there's so much more to come. Just stay with us. welcome.
You're welcome. It's What's Up and About for a Monday edition here on Wake Up Nigeria. And over the weekend was exciting.
Yeah.
And then Sunday morning came through and I was hit by a ton of bricks upon hearing the information that, well, I would like to refer to him as my granduncle. Not grand, but grand in the sense that he's responsible for most of my dark humor growing up. Matthew Perry of the cast of Friends, actually passed away on, was it Saturday night into Sunday. And this news hit a lot of people my generation hard. I felt like I had lost an uncle. And I couldn't, even up until now, each time I see or hear his name or see a picture of him, I still get that.
Yeah. So for those who don't know who Matthew Perry was,
Where have you been sleeping under a rock?
he was one of the key cast members of Friends, which is a series that went on for 10 seasons and shaped a generation and shaped the way sitcoms were produced from then on. The producers of that show went on to produce so many other shows after that, but none as successful as that
Friends,
show.
yes.
They felt like our friends.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, they felt
They were
like
so
our friends.
relatable. The characters were very relatable. As a matter of fact, people still make reference to certain things. Like there was something my man made a reference to. There was a particular conversation Matthew himself had in the elevator in his head.
Yeah.
When he was next to a lady, they got stuck in the elevator, and he made reference to it. And for some weird reason, I remember that scene clearly.
It wasn't an elevator, it was an ATM gallery.
Are you sure it
He
was
called up Joey. I remember every single
No, it was an elevator. They were stuck.
They were stuck in
Yeah,
an ATM
yeah.
gallery.
Oh,
I
it was
remember
an
every
ATM gallery.
single episode,
Wow.
every single line. I am a Friends addict, as in I still see it every single day. I saw it this morning. I saw it on Saturday evening before the news every single day. So you can imagine how hard it hit me.
I like this funny face. When you look at Matthew Perry, you can't help but smile, especially when he does that his funny smirk. Like,
Yeah. And he had, and I think the writers really helped, but the truth is the interpretation of scripts as they're written, it depends on the actor.
Yes.
And his relationship with Joey was probably the first bromance that people were introduced to that was not twisted.
Exactly.
It wasn't twisted. It was just two guys that were really good friends. And that also, and they actually did have a touch on morals and moral values in Friends as well that people like Matthew Perry are remembered for.
One thing that I really liked that show for was the fact that it was 6 people who trusted themselves so much.
Even when they goofed, even when they really messed up.
So in a small way, it actually abused my mind. I'll explain, because I felt that friendship should be that.
Yeah.
I felt that Monica's and Chandler's marriage, that's a template for a marriage. That's a template for friendship.
Plenty of laughter.
Exactly. That's I just want to be happy, and it doesn't have to be anything that's amoral. I just want companionship and people who would laugh at my silly jokes. I will say that here at TVC and with you guys, I do feel a sense of that. I can tell you anything. I can trust that you will help me out with anything. Mike, Daddy Chris, but you know,
But the truth is, if you need Mike to get something done for you, he will get it done.
Aside from that, true. I guess he's a stand-up guy.
Yes, stand-up guy.
Everybody
Don't
in
talk too badly
Friends,
about
everybody
it.
here is relatable to everybody in Friends.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know why.
Funny enough,
but
now
tell
that
me
you
why.
mention it.
We've got our producer here, Halima, is a very strict person. She's Gaddafi, in fact. But I cannot remove the sense that she is also a Phoebe. Somehow. Why?
Yeah, she asked that.
I don't know.
I want to
Titi is
say
our
twisted
Monica.
personality.
Oh, wow.
Titi's our Monica.
Really? Monica, though?
Who's our Jennifer? Jennifer Aniston. Would I?
Not me, definitely.
That's MM now.
MM is actually.
There
I don't
you
know.
go.
Who would I be? Don't say Joey. I will hit you. It has to be Chandler.
Yeah.
It has to be
Funny enough,
Chandler.
yes, it's actually Chandler.
Yeah.
Thank you
Come to
very
think of
much.
it, that's the
It
closest.
can't be Joey.
I'm not saying you are.
I will tell you this.
But
every
closest.
single, my dark humor is from Chandler.
Yeah.
I've always just had that thing with dark humor. Sometimes it's brazen. Sometimes it goes off the edge. But each time I'm about to say something, always know this. I ask myself, what would Chandler say?
Oh.
So you can imagine how it hit me. It's very sad.
So, the question now is, who in your life do you actually feel you can trust on, well, sort of at par with who you would have trusted on Friends?
I'll tell you something. When people who you are as related to as the people, the cast of Friends were, when they hurt you, it's a lifetime of pain.
Yeah.
You'd forgive a stranger for doing the same thing quicker than you would a member of that kind of community.
Yeah.
And you know, Friends is actually a show that made me really understand the meaning of that saying, blood is thicker than water. Because many people don't even realize that blood is thicker than water. The blood is not referring to family. It's actually referring to friendship. The water is what refers to family. And so we're talking about the blood that is built up from such tight friendship that you just cannot push it aside. They became like family. When I started watching it, I was quite young, but when I started watching it, I thought they were siblings that were living together. It was later as the plot developed, and then when I got older that I watched it again, I understood that, oh, they were not related in any way. Because the bond, the ability to forgive, the ability to grow, the ability to excuse mistakes.
You're punching every
like
button.
It's something rare. It's something rare even today.
The question now for everyone is, what exactly happened to Chandler? Or what happened to Matthew Perry?
Matthew Perry.
You used to call him Chandler.
Yeah, so he did star in quite a few other great shows.
Yes.
He was in The West Wing. The West
very
Wing was
successful, quite
amazing.
I loved him in The West
The
Wing.
West Wing was
serious
really great.
Chandler.
But then he did have issues with substance abuse, depression.
Which was open.
He wrote a book. He released a book earlier in the year, and he's gone on talks around the world talking about the book, and he's open about talking about it. The assumption now, well, the question now is, did he really just drown? In his own pool, for instance.
We've been hearing that.
There's so many different issues. Some say cardiac arrest, some say drowning. We're not really sure.
So it was in a jacuzzi, a hot tub. And so you wonder, the hot water, of course, that already would have made his skin red.
Oh.
And so, like, you know, people take a soak every now and then.
You know what?
But then when you're thinking about, you know, what his state of mind was at that time, there's no suspicion of foul play. So there's no suspicion of any external thing. But there have been several indications that maybe, just maybe...
You know what, Mary, don't finish.
It wasn't the
Don't finish it,
Mary. Do you know why?
Don't say it.
I want to remember him as that happy.
Yes. Kind of like Robbie Williams.
I want a couple of months to go by before any inquiry. Just like he said, when I go, remember me for that fun guy who wants to help people. That's what I want to do. I loved him, still do. And,
so tell us what you think. Of course, we would love to hear your thoughts. Use our hashtag Wakeupnigeria on TVC. And let us know.
Do you even have friends like that? Like in Friends? Like the name was appropriate. Very appropriate.
Like the cast of Wake Up Nigeria.
Are we friends?
Aren't we friends? Come on.
Okay, we are friends. I'm just kidding. All right, we'll take this break. Wake Up Nigeria continues in a bit. Just stay with us.
And you're welcome. It's time for the dailies. I'm not alone, of course. As usual, for a Monday, I'm joined by Mary. You are welcome, Bashra Alimi.
Great to be here, Mazino. Thank you so much.
Together, let's do the headlines. Let's let you guys know what you should expect if you are picking up a daily this morning. We're going to be starting from the Punch newspaper, and yes, I have checked the dates on today's one. All right, so Forex crisis is what meets you as you pick up a paper for the Punch newspaper this morning, Monday, October 30th. Labour blames government officials meets FG today. Politicians taste for foreign goods, pushing Nigeria to disaster, says the NLC. Labour threatens to boycott talks with government if minister attends. Under the photo story for the Punch, German Chancellor visits Tinubu, gives ECOWAS 81 million euros for security and others. And still more headlines here under the Punch newspaper. Importers return to parallel markets as Naira rebounds. More on that on other papers. We'll touch on that one soon. Lagos begins demolition of Ikoyi structures near drainages. So this is still ongoing. And Israeli Hamas deaths near 10,000. UN warns of civil unrest. At the top of the Punch newspaper, FG seeks speedy delivery of Turkish attack helicopters. And also challenging P&ID fraud saves Nigeria 15 billion, says Buhari. Very interesting headlines for the Punch newspaper here regarding the taste for foreign goods by our political appointees, which the NLC is very concerned about. We had this topic from last week where they were asking about why they needed foreign
vehicles,
exclusive, foreign luxurious vehicles,
yeah.
to which they responded, hey, bad roads. Who's responsible for the bad roads? Or at least who's supposed to maintain these bad roads? Perhaps maybe channel some of that funds. But I remember what I said, that they are necessary, they could be regarded as necessary tools, apparatus for their governance, if you ask me.
No one is denying the fact that they are necessary tools. You need, transportation to move from one place to another. However, what people are talking about, what people are talking about is what type of vehicle are you buying? If you're buying local, of course, you pay in Naira, especially now with the recent directive that the government is being really strict about localizing, local companies using Naira to transact instead of dollars. So you would have to buy it in Naira, and that would also help the economy to a large extent. But you're buying from abroad, and it's not just a political class thing. It has gone down. Thing. It's become a Nigerian thing. Yeah. You want to sell a particular item, put it down at a particular amount. You probably get price down, but package it. And you pay through your nose for something you could get at a cheaper rate elsewhere just because you want it to look good. It's more about selling the aesthetics than selling quality at the end of the day.
What paper do you have there?
Okay, so right now I have the Daily Trust newspaper. Okay. And the Daily Trust newspaper has this: pay rise. Federal government yet to pay 79.3 billion naira peculiar allowance 7 months after.
Wow.
Just an ultimatum ends tomorrow. NLC alleges lack of capacity to manage wages. Supplementary budget stalls payment in agencies. Finance Ministry, mum. Okay, down here we have many fear dead as boat with over 100 passengers capsizes in Taraba. Revealed how Bello Matawale released billions to punish 14 uncompleted governors' lodges. Or rather to furnish, that's coming from Zamfara government. Here we also have bandits kill only a teacher in Kaduna community. Federal government plans reabsorption of retired military officers. UN raises alarm as food stores ransacked in Gaza. Power minister yet to give policy directive after 2 months in office. And Nigeria, China's firms signs 365 billion naira contract to upgrade distribution lines. All of these stories and more you can catch in the Daily Trust newspaper this morning. Well, it's all about funds. Yes, the big one there.
There's still more about that even in the next paper here. The Nation newspaper has this one. Naira, hang on a second. Naira, I gotta change my glasses. Naira pressures eases as $10 billion forex inflows prospect. And businesses obstacles to go. Tinubu assures investors with Supreme Court verdict, no more distractions. President hosts German Chancellor. Now, I just want to stop there for a second and focus on this. If there's anything that we need right now, especially as the one man who wants to have a business, and especially personally who's tried to have a business here in Nigeria, there's so many obstacles.
Too many.
So many dues, so many taxes. So
yes.
It's a bit too overwhelming for anybody. And if we're talking about trying to build a Naira or sell Nigeria or sell our own products, these what you call them policies have to be adjusted so that the average man can have a shoe business and be able to make a living on that. I should be able to make a living on my voiceover business just alone without all different I had a banker in my house the other day trying to help me rectify my my business accounts, and there were so many details that I didn't even know that I needed. It's terrible.
It's usually like that. Business owners are going through a lot in Nigeria, in quotes. Too many hidden charges, hidden payments, hidden taxes, hidden levies. Too many.
Let's run quickly to the next paper.
Okay, I'll go to the Guardian newspaper now, and it has why probe of 11.3 trillion naira refineries maintenance cost will end futile. Okay, I'd like to read that one later. Here it also says energy challenges undermining Nigeria's development. Tinubu admits the imperative of a good road infrastructure. That's an article. Here we also have P&ID, importance of following legal process in dispute resolution by Buhari. APC risks losing future polls with questionable candidates, says Honorable. Okay. Up here we have unconstitutional for politicians to be INEC rec. And finally, Osun APC PDP Becca over Adeleke's 100 billion naira infrastructural agenda. All of these stories and more you can catch in the Guardian newspaper this morning.
Well, that's as much as we can take, but I just wanted to make one quick reference to a photo story on the Daily Times newspaper where we have environmental offenders actually sweeping the streets of Lagos. We're going to show you that picture now. Now, these are offenders who are actually being put to community
service.
Community service. And I think that's the way to go. We have to take responsibility for our environment, especially as Lagosians, but I think more policies need to be put in place. I say ban the pure water bags, ban the plastic bags, ban the PET bottles, and I think you have a Uganda.
And don't overlook this. A conviction is a conviction.
Exactly, it stays in the
you
record.
might think it's little, but it actually holds water somewhere.
Well, thank you very much as we sign out for this segment with these law offenders behind us. Let that send a message to you. But let's also check out what's going to be happening inside of the kitchen with, well, hey, Titi's in there, and I think we have a chef today already.
Yes, we do.
Titi, do tell us what to expect.
Thank you, Mazino. Thank you, Mary. And thank you, Chef Mimi Gold, for joining us in the kitchen right here on Wake Up Nigeria.
Good morning.
All right, so you're looking so innocent, like, but the spread you have here is not innocent at all. It looks like it's going to be very guilty of tasting good.
Yeah, sure.
You know? I am interested in knowing what you're putting together, and I know everyone is too. Let us know. What are we making?
Today I'm making an egg wrap. So the menu says vegetable and chicken egg wrap.
Okay.
So
Vegetable and chicken egg wrap. Okay, so whenever we hear the term wrap, we think shawarma.
no shawarma.
We think
vibe.
shawarma.
No, not that vibe.
So, let's see what we can do here with all these ingredients. We have chicken breast, bell peppers, eggs, plantain, vegetable oil, and tomato, parsley, cheese, salt, and chili pepper. Now, I'm always interested in seeing, different chefs' versions of wraps. You have plantain somewhere in there.
Yep.
You have vegetable in there. Yep. You have the chicken and the egg. We don't know which one comes first. The combination is going to be what we have in question. So I can see that there's also cheese here. Cheese. Ooh. Cheese and plantain, never had that before. We will definitely be looking forward to this. All we need for this is frying pan. We don't need a deep pot. We don't need anything like that. Just a frying pan.
So we'll definitely go with a non-stick pan.
So what is the first thing we need to get done?
The first thing we need to get done is to shred our chicken.
Okay. In what?
In stir fry. Then fry our plantain. So we keep that aside. Then we'll go ahead and cut our.
All right. So let's get to work on that. We're going to be cutting this plantain. This is unripe plantain. It's very
So it's optional.
firm.
You can go with a ripe plantain, unripe plantain. But I prefer
Okay.
going with
All right.
unripe.
I can tell you that Chef Mimi has got us covered. What's next, Chef Mimi?
So first of all, I want to fry this plantain.
Okay. The unripe plantain.
Yes. In your house, you can try ripe plantain or ripe, but I prefer using unripe plantain because I need this crunchiness inside. So.
Okay, crunchy.
Yes.
All right. Just in case you're just tuning in, we're making a wrap. So this is an egg, vegetable, and chicken wrap. She's also adding plantain to this, so I have a feeling this wrap is going to have a very, very full bouquet of flavor. Tomatoes here, peas, spring onions. We also have some green peppers. We have atarodo, or should we say Scotch bonnet, and of course, onions. Let's not forget the cheese. I'm wondering where the cheese is going to come in a little later. But what are you preparing for now?
But for now, I want to start preparing for the egg.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So this egg we're talking about, when you say it's a wrap, is the egg going to be inside the wrap, or is it going to be the wrap itself?
The egg will be wrapping himself.
Okay. So obviously with the wrap, you have to make sure that the ingredients are of a certain size so that, you know, it all fits inside.
Inside, yeah.
Which is why I can see you're dicing it really small. Yeah? Okay, fabulous.
So
What's
once
next?
The pepper.
Okay. The pepper.
Just have to chop them very, very thin.
Okay. So you have the hot pepper as well. You're not removing the seeds. You want it to be very hot.
Yes. Because there are some people that don't like eating egg when it's not spicy. They can still smell the freshness in the egg.
Yeah.
So somebody like me.
Okay, the rawness of the egg sometimes is not everybody likes it. That pepper sort of sends off the rawness. Even the onion smell, also for some people, it helps them consume egg a bit easier.
Yeah.
All right. Fantastic. One more time, let's see if our friends at home can try this on their own. Maybe you have some of these ingredients lying around the house and you want to try what we're making today. We would love to see the results. Vegetable and chicken egg wrap with fried plantain, garnished with, is this charged tomato? And
Charred tomato.
Charred tomato. Okay, fantastic. Now those are the ingredients: chicken breast, bell peppers, egg, plantain, vegetable oil, tomato, parsley, cheese, salt, chili pepper, and tortilla. So this tortilla, let's have a conversation about this while you're doing the dicing.
Okay.
So there is shawarma bread, which is pita, right?
Yep.
There's a difference. What is tortilla made of? That's you know, how is it different from pita bread?
Tortilla is different due to the thickness of for a shawarma bread, it's kind of lighter and it does not quickly hold things.
Oh.
So there are sometimes if you are working with something that has a dish that has a lot of juice inside of it, so the tortilla will just break out and just melt. But this is very yes, that's the pizza. So but this tortilla is just really strong and can hold any juice coming out from your dish.
All right. Okay, so if you're someone that likes moist ingredients in your wrap, it might be better to avoid pita bread and use tortilla. Okay. So at this point, there's a lot of chopping going on because we need the ingredients to all be of a certain size. We will be coming back to see how Chef Mimi Gold is doing with this amazing wrap she's creating. And I can't wait to see the finished product myself. But at this point, we have to take another break. But guess what? Wake Up Nigeria continues.
Well, good morning once again, and glad that you guys are back on here because she was almost talking me into buying her breakfast for this morning, and I'm not going to do that.
You don't need to buy me breakfast, just lunch. And what he did say was that I could have lunch on him anytime. So
I was coerced.
Mama Bola, I hope you
I was
heard.
coerced. Please. Anyhow, beautiful people, we're glad that you guys are back here feeling charged up and already. Hey, because we certainly we have plenty more to go. So please do stay tuned. And thank you very much for being our muse for such a good time.
Yes, indeed. Now, hopefully, you are one of the people whose face we put a smile on this morning. One of the many faces across Nigeria. It starts with one smile. It can be infectious, and we are counting on it to be so.
You know what? You should call the Center for Disease Control. Because, hey, we just started another pandemic. It's happy faces. You get one, everybody gets one.
Happiness pandemic is the kind of pandemic we need, actually.
I think we do.
Now, whether you're heading to work, dropping the kids at school on the first day after the midterm week, it used to be weekend, it used to be 2 days. Now it's 5 days. Like, seriously, guys? But hey, stay right there. We have a show beautifully curated just for you.
Yes, welcome back. All you late risers are also welcome. It's Wake Up Nigeria. Alrighty now, my name is Mazino Appeal.
And I'm Titilayo Onyeso. And the goal this second hour is to power up your Monday, as we started about an hour ago.
Oh, yes. Now, don't forget to share your Monday morning motivations and morning moments. We always love to read about it. Use the hashtag Wakeupnigeriaontvc. We're having such good moments here, especially you've been inside the kitchen working. We're sensing that aroma. Mary, you usurped Titi's position, but how's it going in?
Oh, it's going quite well. I was very curious about something. So the chef is removing the plantain and it's looking golden brown. It's not even brown, sir, gold. And then so I was asking, is it all ripe? Like, that's the only reason you would take it out at this point. And she said, yes, it is. So I'm actually looking forward to the end result of the chicken egg wrap, because that's what we're having for breakfast.
You know, plantain always brings a sense of nostalgia to me. It's from television, and her name used to be Auntie Fumi. She used to do this cooking show, the very first Nigeria's very first cook show. That was sponsored by a seasoning, you remember that one?
Oh,
so each time I hear golden brown plantain,
You just think of it, it just cues.
exactly,
Yeah.
all the time.
Wow.
Well, but you know, Wake Up Nigeria has had a live kitchen for the past 6+ years now. So I think we've usurped that position.
So maybe I should start, you know, recalling Wake Up Nigeria chefs instead.
Please do. But for all of you at home right now, keep the energy going. Make sure you tune in live. We have a mobile app available for you on Google Play and iOS.
And if you're here in Nigeria, thank you very much for tuning in on channel 16 on GOTV. UHF, it's 49 121 on StarTimes. Thank you, everybody who's gathered around and allowed us straight into your homes.
And we're going to be connecting with you even more. We're going to be taking a What's Trending segment today.
On X.
Yes, on
We're
X.
going to be calling our X. No. It's the platform X. We're talking about what's trending. I think there's something about the Yabojo instance. Yes, you guys stay tuned for that one. It's going to be fun.
Yeah.
But for the next 45 minutes, let's let you guys know what's coming your way with all the inspiration and everything that we've packaged and curated for you today. So stay tuned. Coming up today, we've already done sports. We are going to be having our motivation segment come your way, joined by Gabriel Balogun, who is a very interesting strategist and motivational speaker. Now, Gabriel is an advocate for turning learning and development into strategic business, a driver, leveraging on motivation. Now, he will be discussing with us pushing through the noise to make your brand stand out in these days.
And then, of course, what would Wake Up Nigeria be without a musical performance? We have Drone Official, aka Daniel Oseremen. He's going to be taking center stage today and performing something we'll be remembering for the rest of the week. And of course, then we'll be having SME. We have an amazing SME guest, and as you can imagine, it's all about planning events.
Yes, Glossy Events is going to be here. We're going to be talking with her. This is Aderemi. She is going to be telling us how she has managed to, successfully host or put together a business based on making memories for people, whether projects, family events, or just simple gatherings. The event planning business is a big one here in Nigeria, and we will learn how we might be able to take a leap. Welcome, and it's motivation for the business owner today. If you're just joining us, well, this is time for our motivation segment. And today we have Mr. Gabriel Balogun in the house with us. You are welcome. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.
He is when it comes to business, the business motivational speaker, let me put it that way. So you guys are welcome to even perhaps maybe after the show ask him specific questions regarding your businesses. Welcome, man. Good to have you here.
Thank you.
Very timely, our topic today, because there are a lot of businesses and business owners out there who need motivation today, especially with everything that Nigeria is going through. And not just that, you also have to battle the fact that I need to keep my business above, head above water. There's so much noise going on, especially on social media. Everybody's business is, I sell this, I do that. How can I make my business cut through the noise and be seen in this time and age?
Interesting question. Now,
you're thinking like you didn't have this topic since last.
the popular answer, so I'm thinking about to start. The popular answer is everyone says brand yourself, right? And that can be very vague. So I'm going to try and break it down.
Okay.
So the very first thing is you need to control the narrative about your business. Branding is not what we think it is. Branding is not beautiful colors. Branding is not logo. Branding is not a beautiful website. Branding is the gut feeling people have when they come in contact with your various brand touch points.
Okay.
So what is the thing they say about your business when you are not there? People look at popular brands, Apple, and say, if I buy an Apple product, I'm going to communicate luxury. That's the brand. It's not necessarily even the product. So it goes beyond having the good product. You need to control the narrative. And when you see the most popular brands or businesses in the world, there's a way they tell stories. You look at Pepsi and they use the biggest of the biggest stars, communicating that when you have massive events, Pepsi is your go-to brand. You look at Coca-Cola and they use everyday living. you're going to eat, you're going shopping, you're driving your car, and then it just communicates to you that when I'm tired, I just buy a Coke. I don't have to be special, right? So branding is the reputation of your business. That's the very first thing. And you have to use storytelling, conscious storytelling, to control that narrative. This is how I want you to see me. This is how I want you to perceive my business. This is how I want you to think of us. So you're stuck, for instance, Gabriel Balogun, you're stuck in your business. You need some form of out-of-the-box strategy. You think of Gabriel because he can help you groom your business, groom your people so that they can create the right product, right? So that's branding.
So that's the strategy. But what's the vehicle or the apparatus? There's so many ways you can actually communicate that. In the old days, perhaps maybe you go on TV or you do that. There's also word of mouth.
Yeah.
But there's a diverse variety of platforms now that you can express these expressions. But what will make my expression different from the next guy's, without mentioning the brands, of course.
Okay.
What will make my expression different from the next guy's expression and make mine stand out or push mine forward? If I can't use the colors, if I can't use the, like you mentioned from when you started, what is that one unique thing that will make me stand out from the next guy's expressions when he's trying to communicate about the brand personality of his product?
All right, so I would advise that every brand invest in building a tribe.
A tribe?
A tribe. Now, what's the difference between a tribe and a community? A tribe is a collection of people who have the same problem and want the same solution.
Okay.
A community is a collection of tribes. So Lagos, for instance, is a community that has the Yoruba, the Igbo, the Hausa, various tribes.
Yeah.
But you go to the southwest and you see the Yoruba tribe, right? So businesses need to start building tribes around their products. So Toyota, for instance, and this is business.
Go with the brand again.
So let me go call brands then.
Yeah.
No marketing actually.
Yes.
But Toyota has Corolla, has Camry, has Lexus, and various brands in them, right? Now, they could do something special for everybody with a Camry car. What they are doing is they are building maybe some events where everybody that is the Toyota Camry can come to. What they've done is that they've intentionally created a tribe for their business, such that they can continually innovate on that Camry that will be unique to only the guys that drive Camry.
So that's very interesting. So you're saying, for instance, if I'm an entrepreneur and I'm a photographer, I have to build a tribe around pictures or events or experience.
Experiences,
so I could
actually.
either choose to be perhaps the wedding photographer that takes maybe only after wedding shots.
Good, that's it.
Or the one that does simply pre-wedding shots. So localizing and finding my niche. And also building that tribe around will make people, okay, this guy stands out and this is what I want him for specifically for this.
I also advise that if you're a business, try not to niche too much. Yeah, if it's a personal brand, yes, go on a niche. But as a business, you also don't want to tie your source of income to one specific thing.
Okay.
So this photographer, for instance, could be an after-wedding photographer. But that could be just one product. You could also be the guy that can shoot honeymoon pictures.
Okay, yeah.
You could also create a product for your first baby pictures. That way, it would create a tribe across individual products, such that if one shuts down, there's another one that it can leverage on.
Okay.
And also understand that each of those people had different customers.
Yeah.
After wedding is different from first baby shoots.
Yeah.
Totally different from honeymoon videography of some sorts. So you can build collections of products that can sell across various tribes.
So specifically, you're saying be a bit more intentional about your brand. Build tribes is one thing that I've taken out of today's one.
Very
because
important.
I think that's something that most brands do not do. Instead, we're trying to fight the other brand by competing with our expressions. But if I can build a tribe of people who have a problem, create a solution for that problem around that tribe, conversations and everything going on there, then I would perhaps stand out as the one guy to go to if you have this.
Simple.
Well, Gabriel, I've always said that you were fantastic when it comes to branding.
Thank you.
And then motivating people to actually do their own thing and stand out while they're doing it is another thing. So thank you very much.
Thank you for having
Mr.
me.
Gabriel Balogun. Always a pleasure to have you here. And of course, you guys know the man, the go-to man when you need to strategize your branding. Thank you very much once again.
Thank you very much for
Thank you
having
for
me.
staying put. Don't go anywhere. We've still got a guest here before the end of the show. And of course, inside the kitchen, it's getting bolder and bolder with the seasoning and everything. I can't wait to have what they're cooking. But let's take a break and we'll be back.
Welcome back. Now, it is a Monday, and on Mondays, we have the opportunity to learn something from people who have been there and done that, especially with their small businesses. It's time for the SME segment. Today, we have Deborah Aderemi, CEO of Glossy D Events and Services. Now, over the years, they've been helping clients organize memorable events, promotions, and projects, and they are here to help us understand how to run a successful event planning business. It's great to have you here, Deborah.
Thank you very much, Maya. I appreciate that.
All right, so event planners notoriously are always busy every weekend.
Yes.
Am I right?
Yes, you're right.
Every weekend.
Not really every weekend, sometimes.
Okay.
Even the weekdays too as well.
Weekdays as well.
Yes, ma'am.
There's always something to do. Always
Exactly.
something happening.
Exactly.
It feels like the events industry in Nigeria is thriving in spite of or despite the economic situation in the country. Whenever you have conversations like this with colleagues, friends in the industry, how does that conversation go?
The thing is, most times clients don't even understand because most of this conversation goes with clients in terms of the budget that they want to use in running the event.
Yeah.
And they don't want to understand the system of how the economy is. They still want to remain on that same pricing. And we try to make them understand that, things are inflating in terms of the vendors that will be on board, maybe the catering services and decoration and all. So, and clients do not want to, they still want to maintain that pricing. And at the end,
something you priced in 2020 definitely cannot be at the same price it is today.
exactly. But yet they still want to have that top-notch events, even when they want to spend on that budget.
It does feel like at a point, especially during COVID, the industry was going to take a nosedive. But you probably agree that there are more events happening now than ever before. Am I right?
Well, there's still more events. Nigerians, we like to party a lot. So, no, it doesn't really matter, regardless of whatever it is that's happening in the society. People still want to party and then, have nice times with your friends and then with your family.
Let's do an ABC, like just a step-by-step as to what it takes to plan an event. When a new customer comes to you, how do you begin?
The first thing is you have to be able to listen to your clients and understand what kind of event are they about to have. Is it a political affiliation event, a social event, or an official event? And that now takes you to a model where you're able to assess the risk, because risk is actually very important too in the event, ensuring that the environment of the event is safe. Then that's when you then move into the segment of managing the clients themselves in their activities and in also helping them reducing pressures, and then also overspending. Sometimes clients want to place their money in things that are not necessity for the event. And that's when we now move into the management of the punctuality of the vendors. We'll actually do our professional findings on vendors that we're going to bring in that will fall into the budget that we'll have to go for, and then managing the punctuality of the vendors and then their deliverables too as well. And then the major thing is ensuring that the clients and their guests are extremely satisfied.
Happy.
Exactly.
So out of 10 times, how many times out of 10 are you able to say your client is completely happy? I'm trying to be as honest as possible with this.
Well, let's be honest. The major thing is sometimes those challenges comes in when a client happens to be the one that they want to bring in some vendors themselves.
Sure.
They want to bring in some vendors. So, and then you as a planner, you want to manage those vendors because you wouldn't want them to, because you don't know the state of that vendor if the person is able to reach the goal of what you want as well. And then clients refuse to hand over that vendors to an event planner. So at the end of the day, such event might not end up going well you know, and then sometimes natural distractions, natural weather distractions, if it's an open event, maybe a campaign or a party.
So Mazino and I actually touched on that earlier on, because if you're planning an outdoor event in a place like Nigeria where the weather is a little bit unpredictable,
exactly.
You don't know if it could rain or if the sun is going to be hotter than you planned. There's a lot of variables that go into it.
Yes.
But how have you been able to mitigate some of these issues, reduce the amount of risk for your own business?
If we have a client that the environment they want to have is maybe within the environment, there are centers, maybe hall locations that we can use, we tend to advise them to go for that. But once the client is still insisting, or maybe the kind of environment they're using, they don't really have such in that environment, like maybe when you have to travel outside the state of Lagos, you know, we tend to propose contingency plan to clients. And that is actually very difficult to get, because there has to be a plan B. What if something happens? And that's what clients don't want to know. So what I always do is I create an MOU for my clients to also sign that they are aware about this. And in my agreement and policy, I keep them informed that anything can happen. So it is now left to them to, since they signed, sometimes they don't even have time to read through, they still sign. So yes, exactly. So when...
I know, but that is indeed to protect your business. But
exactly.
This is because a lot of people assume planning an event is easy.
Honestly.
No. The way you just rolled your eyes on.
Honestly, if you don't have the passion, if you don't have the time, and if you're not a multitasking person, you can't be an event planner. Everybody wants to be an event planner. And even in the industry, a lot of people also claim to be an event planner. But the major thing is deliverables. Like I tell people, I said, in her business, your integrity is your deliverables. That's it. So it's very challenging.
So, you know, the pictures all look great. It looks colorful, you know, especially at the beginning of the event. But you just said something now. You said without the passion, you know. But with that passion, does there come profit? Is it actually very profitable to be an event planner with all that stress?
Well, it is profitable. And then in the other side, sometimes you do your business in terms of the passion. That I just want to execute this. And in as long as you see that the client is willing to hand it over to you to execute. But trust me, in the event industry, it's profitable, honestly. It is profitable.
I'm pleased to hear that, because the work you do is, honestly, it's a lot of work. Imagine stringing all those lights, getting the right shots, getting the right food, getting the right energy, the right mood for your events. And then, of course, the way some vendors behave, and, you know, they take a sort of nonchalant view of your event. Some vendors can be like that.
Well, for me, and that's the reason why every event planner must always hold a vendors meeting with the vendors. So when you have a vendors meeting on before the event, especially when it's been outsourced by the event, such vendors will not misbehave because that event planner would have professionally scouted for the right vendor. But when you see those vendors that are having those nonchalant and whatever, most times they come from the clients directly. And that client has refused to hand over the vendor to the planner.
We've talked a bit about trust today, right here on Wake Up Nigeria. In the end, what a client is doing is trusting an event planner with their baby, trusting, you know, an event planner with a project. And at some point, you have to just let them do their thing. I have to say a big thank you to you, Deborah.
Thank you so much for having me.
For coming to talk to us.
Thank you.
At this point, I know you have loads of vendors that make great food. Chef Mimi Gold has definitely worked on events as well. She has a really tasty package for us in the kitchen. Please join us.
Okay, thank you very much, ma'am.
All right, we are in the Wake Up Nigeria kitchen once again. Mary, Mazino, and Chef Mimi. That's MMM. They're all in the kitchen standing by for us. Welcome.
Don't worry, your money is safe with us.
We should start that.
Yeah, we should. Oh, dear me. Now, but really, Chef Mimi Gold has blown our minds one more time.
Yes.
This is, chicken, egg wrap. with plantain.
Vegetable chicken egg wrap.
Vegetable chicken egg wrap with plantain.
Nice.
It looks amazing.
It doesn't just
It
look
does.
amazing. I'm stealing it.
You
And then
are?
those are edible flowers, by the way. Yes.
Edible flowers.
Yes,
Yeah.
edible flowers.
Yeah.
I think you should try it.
Please
Try it.
have a taste
Okay.
and let us know what you think. Yeah, Mazino is really
Where should
hungry.
I start?
You can start from anywhere. We're
anywhere.
just curious as to
The
what you
beginning
make
would
of
be
it.
good.
Can you hear Mazino's stomach, by the way?
It's rumbling.
Would you stop? This is intrusive.
But it's very loud. Is it our fault?
Stop it.
It's loud.
Better in than out.
Yeah.
So what do you think?
Tasty.
Tasty.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
So did you say it's the plantain, the
Yes, I did. That was why I was asking where do I start?
The
Okay.
chicken
I did.
upper?
It was really nice.
Aha.
Okay, Mazino, yeah, you can take the plate, but don't leave
Yeah,
just
it's
yet. We
okay.
have to say bye-bye to
We
everyone.
just put
All
it
right,
down
hurry
here.
then.
We are going to be back tomorrow morning from 7 a.m. with
Bright and
another
early.
fantastic lineup
Yes.
for you. Make sure you make it a day.
What she said. Thank you very much. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.